He's one of YouTube's most famous faces, but he's not just one of America's most followed creators. Logan Paul is an entrepreneur. He's an investor. He's a collector and now a professional athlete with the WWE. Logan Paul joins us now, and it is great to have you here. You're part of a new show, King of Collectibles, The Golden Touch, debuts today. That it highlights some of your offbeat investments that you're making. Pokemon cards are one of them, and you are wearing that bling right now.
Just crazy to hear you say Pokemon.
Pokemon, sorry.
It's a generational thing, man. You gotta realize that.
My dad said it when I was younger. I'd be playing. He'd be like, "Get off your Pokemon game."
What does your dad say now about you investing in Pokemon cards?
Smart investment, son. You play your games.
Well, tell us about that card.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the rarest and most valuable Pokemon card in the world. Pokemon as an asset class has outperformed the stock market by upwards of 3,000% in the last 20 years. It is a generational game and franchise that is the #1 highest grossing and most popular franchise in the world. This card is the best out of all of them. It is the 1-of-1 PSA 10 Pikachu Illustrator.
Now, how much is the stuff around it worth?
Yeah,
I see a lot of diamonds.
A lot of diamonds.
Right.
I paid $75K for this custom chain.
How did you get into investing in these collectible cards?
Someone gave me way too much money as an adult. And as a kid who grew up playing the game, I was like, oh, wow, there's a trading card game here, and I can spend my entire net worth on it. And I did that with this card.
Interesting. So if someone's new to this space, that's never been, I mean, this is an asset class that is completely foreign to most investors. Where would you start? We obviously can't start with one of those.
Yeah. I mean, man, go to your local card shop. Go on eBay. Buy a card that you think looks cool or that you have a connection with. That's what I did. I love Pokemon more than anything. I have one tattoo on my body. It's a Squirtle. I got it before I even started.
What's a Squirtle?
Squirtle's a water type. He's a starter Pokemon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How much did you pay for that card?
I'm dating myself.
It's fine.
How much did you pay for it, and how much is it worth?
Yeah, great question. I paid $5.3 million for this card.
Wow.
I set a Guinness World Record for the most expensive Pokemon card ever sold back in 2022 after I wore it out to my WrestleMania debut around my neck like this. And your question, how much is it worth? We will see. I don't know. I am finally, after years of Ken Golden convincing me to sell this thing at auction, I'm sending it to auction this February. And so we're going to see what it goes for. But I think being the rarest, most valuable card in the world, there's only one of them, one in a PSA 10. You see the label up there, meaning it's perfect. I don't want to say it. It's whatever someone's willing to pay.
Don't walk around with it in Manhattan.
I was going to say, I feel like you need a bodyguard for that thing.
It's like
He is
his own bodyguard. On that note, we've been talking about just this young generation of Gen Z where they feel like housing's unaffordable, they're in debt, they're looking for fun investing ideas, way to make money that's an alternative. Maybe it's not buying a home anymore, maybe it's not the traditional stock market. What do you tell that group of young investors out there?
I think if you have the money, don't be afraid to take a risk, especially if you're young. Young people have a ton of energy. I had a lot of energy when I was younger. I'm 30 now, and I'm Unc, and I have a daughter. I'm a dad, and so I have way less energy. But if you're young, there are ways to spend and invest your money in ways that might mean more to you than a traditional conservative investment like the stock market. Whether it's a trading card, a piece of art, a piece of a dinosaur, like a sports memorabilia, game-worn, anything.
Birkin bags. They're beating the stock market with their appreciation.
And you're absolutely right.
Beanie Babies.
No, Charlie.
Forgive him, he's the oldest guy on the panel.
They will hold their value.
But isn't there like a notion that some of this stuff could be faddish? There's no inherent value to it. Like a Beanie Baby,
Sure.
It'll crash.
Sure. It's entirely possible. You got to be careful with what you're investing in.
Or trade out of it. It's quick.
Or trade out of it. Yeah. I like to invest in the best of the best.
Right.
The top in the asset class. I bought a Wayne Gretzky final championship game hockey stick. There's only one Wayne Gretzky.
Yes, he's talking about limited supply. Beanie Babies, there was unlimited supply.
Yes.
Do you view any of these purchases, these collectibles, as legacies, where you're going to pass them down to your new child?
I do.
Or do you say, like, this is purely an investment?
I do. I would love if my daughter was into Pokemon, but my wife is like, you can't force that on her. I'm like, I know. And
It's great.
we just had a thing where she chose her starter Pokemon. Squirtle was an option. I know you don't know Squirtle.
I'm going to look it up after this.
But it was a big deal for me. And, you know, I'm a collector, and if she wants some of the things that I have that I think will be worth, you know, multiples of what they are today, I'd be more than happy to pass them down.
Can we take a little step back? Because we're talking about kind of, you know, your collections and your entrepreneurism now, but you got started in a way that everyone loves to follow in social media. You kind of exploded on the scene, what, like 10 years ago?
Yeah.
How did you go from that like huge social media success to just constantly innovating and growing, you know, business ventures, professional wrestler, collector? How do you do it?
I appreciate the question. My interests are vast, and I work really hard. My dad instilled a hard work ethic in my brother and I, and we've been able to leverage the platform that we've built to potentially pursue things that are more meaningful or that can keep us relevant or generate revenue. And social media to us has always been a stepping stone to then build business or build personal brands, whatever it is. It was always a tool for us, and we've gotten pretty good at making content.
What fascinates me is how you are diverse in your investments too. It's not just the collector's card. That clearly is a passion for you, but an investment in Prime hydration drink. You also invest in AI, so you're really with the times.
Yeah, I'm actually a co-owner of Prime Hydration. We have an exciting product coming out in 2026, but it's parallel to what we've done with our social media career. You have to adapt. You have to innovate in this world, just in general. If you don't adapt, you die. And maybe not, hopefully, literally, but like figuratively, if you aren't able to change with the times, you're going to get left in the past. And as a product of social media, which is always an ever-changing, my brother and I have been able to do that pretty well.
So how do you adapt? I've always wondered how you got the fighting.
It's funny. Yeah. My co-owner in Prime Hydration was once a rival who called me out to fight. I said yes to him.
Like a fight.
Boxing fight.
Okay.
Millions of people watched.
Okay.
We fought twice and then ended the rivalry, came together. It's a love story, and then founded Prime.
So you guys were fighting as kids?
Jake and I?
Yeah.
Each other, yeah. but no. We wrestled. We did sports growing up.
It's amazing that you guys got that good as you got older. I mean,
well, we were athletes first,
right?
And like when I tell you our work ethic is second to none, I really mean that. Like, my dad's a psychopath, and we have that in us. Like sometimes my wife is like, "Your Greg Paul is showing," and I'm like, right, all right. But we were athletes first, and then boxing was just something like we fell in love with. Like, dude, my brother wanted to be a Navy SEAL, like, and go like fight for the country.
And how do you transition to that, to wrestling, right? I was at WrestleMania 4. I think you got your start at 38, so I'm a little bit older.
Yeah.
Arguably, I think that's probably one of the hardest sports. Would you agree with that?
I would totally agree. I was asked this question this morning: what's harder, boxing, Floyd Mayweather, or wrestling? I've done both. Wrestling, by far.
And why is that?
You have to use every part of your mind and body. Wrestling is one of the most difficult things I've ever done. I have so much respect for the craft, which is why I've given so much of my life to it. I'm now a full-time wrestler, and I honestly believe I was born to be a wrestler.
Plus you have to land right.
I don't think about the landings enough.
We have
think about the
seen
landings enough.
the headlines.
I know, that's hard, man. That's the hard
We've
part.
seen the headlines and the pictures of your brother. How is he doing?
He's good.
Okay.
I just spoke with him today. His jaw's in a little pain, but man, he's really got an unbelievable
He did an
spirit.
amazing job. I watched the whole fight, and I was like, this kid is, and I could call him a kid because I'm old.
Yeah.
He's a tough dude.
He's very tough. He's really tough.
I mean, to get in there with this, Joshua is 6'6".
250. Yeah. It's funny because like
And he stayed there. He fought him.
yeah, for 6 rounds. And
was
he landed
just
some
amazing.
shots on him.
I know.
Dude, in like think about how refreshing it is that we live in a world where like a lot of people are just chatter online. They got a big mouth. They like to just talk. My brother's one of those people. I'm one of those people. But he's gonna get in the ring and fight for 6 rounds and at least try his best to back it up. And man, you can't deny his toughness.
Can I ask you a parental
talent, too.
question?
Yeah.
Maybe to end it. I'm a new parent as well. I'm curious, as you think about AI, social media that you've leveraged, how do you think also about talking to your daughter about that one day? How do you view that and use it in your home?
Yeah, that's a great question. We keep screens away from her for now.
Okay.
I understand that they can be used as tools for busy parents who want to like essentially sedate their children. We're trying to avoid that at the moment. I think this generation alpha and next year generation beta are going to have to learn to coincide with technology in smarter ways than we did. If you can find better ways to give your child a dopamine spike or keep their creativity or curiosity fulfilled than just handing them a device, I think that's going to be helpful. And I actually think there's going to be a pendulum swing from a generation that's addicted to technology to a generation that is actually free from technology. And I bet our children are going to be a part of that wave.
How about teaching them how to fight?
It's a great skill set to have. I love being able to protect my family.
Yes.
Yeah.
Self-defense, fantastic. As a sport, it's very dangerous. A lot of trauma. A lot of shots to the head that you want to try to avoid if you
show
can.
you something.
Oh, you got no cartilage in his nose.
You know, you are among a group of hard workers. It's the Business Network. You said that you work constantly or you love to work. What is your typical day like? When do you get started? How do you finish your day?
It's as soon as I wake up. Literally as soon as I wake up.
What time is that?
Varies. It was like 10:30 p.m. before before I had a kid. Now it's like 8 or 9 a.m. As you know. But I'm just one of those people where like my dopamine spike comes from doing stuff and being productive throughout the day. Like at the end of the day, I pray that it was a productive day. That's like always my number one goal. Some people don't have that. Some people have it way more than me, like Mr. Beast, my friend Mr. Beast. Well, I see him working. I'm like, this guy's insane.
He's crazy.
There are levels to this, and I'm somewhere in the middle.
Well, you have an incredible energy. We're so glad that
Thank
you
you.
came. I'm so
Yeah.
glad I got to see the Pokemon card. We'll see what it auctions for. Logan Paul, thank you. And just going to
was
thank
great.
Charlie
Thanks.
Gasparino for the hour as well. Great to have you all with us.